Hello and welcome to our live video this afternoon. I have a special guest with me today. A new face some of you might not be familiar with. It's Towera from our design department. So Towera is one of our designers, and I'll explain a little bit more to you about Towera's involvement in the videos in a few moments once we have some more people join us today. So do say hello when you've joined the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from today. Say hi and let us know whether you've gone on any exciting holidays this year. I know that lots of people are back to normal, so perhaps you've been travelling. I've been very fortunate and been able to go to Spain for the first time in years. So I've been away on holiday a couple of weeks ago and that was just absolute bliss. So hi there Becca and Laura, thank you for joining us. If somebody could share this video in Clan Oscha, that would be really helpful. And then once we have some more of you joining us, we'll get started with the video. There we go, it looks like the video has been shared in our Facebook community group, Clan Oscha. Hi Amy, hi Bee. Do let us know where you're tuning in from today. We'd love to hear how you're getting on and if you've had any exciting summer holiday plans this summer. Great, so lots of you will notice a new face today. So Towera's here to join us.
Hi everyone.
So for those of you who don't know, Towera is one of our two designers here at Oscha, and she's been with us for about 3 years now.
3 years, yeah.
I know. And Towera has also been away on maternity leave. You just returned?
I came back in April.
In April,
yeah.
So quite recently,
Very
but getting
recent.
back into the swing of things
Yes.
now. So Towera has loads of experience obviously with our designs, our textiles. She obviously puts together all of the different orders that we do. So Towera has so much knowledge about Oscha design and weaving in general. So I think that she will be a real, really great addition to the live videos. And
I'll try.
yes, and of course, for those of you who are not aware, I'll be going on maternity leave in the autumn. So Towera's going to come and join us on some of the live videos on the run up to me heading off for a little while, and then take over where possible on the live videos at that point. So we'll be able to continue chatting with you all, and it'll be so nice for you to get to know somebody, another one of the team I guess as well, and you'll see Holly from time to time too. Great, so I'm just going to check if there's any comments or questions here so far, and then we'll get started. So lots of people saying hi.
Hi Laura.
Yes, lovely. And Becca has shared that she has tuning in from Colorado, and that she's been camping. Oh wow, wonderful. In Napa Valley without the kids for the first time. That sounds pretty cool.
Sounds good.
Yes, do share your holiday plans with us, so we'd love to hear what you're all up to. Great, so I will hand over to Towera for the first wrap. So she's going to go over she's going to review the Apotheca for you, and then I'll be back later on in the video and we'll look at Kiku Chelsea, and I'll have some other little interesting things for you to learn about. So I'll see you in a bit.
Okay, thanks Hannah. Oh, hi again everyone. Thanks for having me today for my first taster session. So as Hannah mentioned, I'm one of the designers here at Oscha. My name is Towera, if you didn't catch that. I work alongside Carmen, so together we put together the collections, look after pre-orders, and generally just have a lot of fun putting different yarns and colours together. So I've got Apotheca here today, and it's on our new Sage Warp, which is our usual standard BCI organic combed cotton, and this lovely olive green, which is just really kind of on trend, but also really wearable and sort of almost a neutral colour, but with these kind of flashes of colour peeking through. So this is one of Carmen's. her inspiration came from flower meadows and just looking for a really nice fresh colourway, that nice green, and then having the flashes of colour peeking through, and then with some texture added. So it's actually, from the blend, it seems like a very simple fabric, but up close you'll start to see there's actually quite a lot going on in it. So I'll go into a bit more detail with that later. But what you've got is a blended linen and cotton slub yarn forming that really nice, almost space dye effect pinstripe across the weft. And then next to it, you can just make out some flecks coming in there. There's a cotton boucle yarn, and that's the first time we're using this one, but it just adds a really lovely subtle texture across the fabric, which I think just gives it a real depth against this quite graphic pattern. And then just to tie it all together, there's another 2 picks of an ecru BCI organic combed cotton, which is similar to the cotton we use in our weft, the warp, just a bit thicker for the weft weight. So you can see all those textures kind of coming through really nicely on the back of the wrap. So I think that's going to look lovely in a carry that shows you both sides for that kind of contrast effect. Try and get them up together here. Let's see if I can get those showing up. I'm going to stick to a front wrap cross carry today because I'm not feeling quite brave enough yet, but you'll all know the carries you can do with flipped shoulders like a kangaroo, or even a front wrap cross carry with a poppins finish. There are so many and they'll just look, I think, really elegant. So I'll just get this started off. I'm ready. So I think this would almost go with any colour of outfit, and either blend or stand out depending on what you're wearing. I'll just check and see if any of you have any questions while Emily says, olive and khaki vibes, and I love it. Yeah, exactly, it is. It's an olive green. It just, yeah, it's so nice. It's really soft but also fresh. Summer plans, Mercedes says, my grandmother's flying into town on Friday for a week. Wow, and seeing her great-grandchildren. That's amazing. Have fun. Okay, great. I'll go ahead and start off with this. And as I'm doing that, I'll just give you the kind of headline info. So this, the blend is 78% BCI organic combed cotton, 14% the boucle cotton with the texture, and then 8% linen, which gives it just that bit of extra strength as well. So it's 296 GSM, which is at the heavier end of our medium weight wraps, but actually feels really quite light and thin in hand. And it is, as our tester noted, it is slightly less densely woven than some of our fabrics, so it does have that extra moldability, which I think is just going to make it, as well as the softness it's already got, it's going to be really nice and manageable for new wrappers, first-time wrappers, or with small babies. I think it'll just be, yeah, a really lovely wrap that'll do you all round, from small sizes, even up to bigger kids. I managed to persuade my daughter briefly to try it out with me over the weekend. She's about going on 17 months and about 10 kilos, so she's not light. But in a front wrap cross carry, it was okay. We weren't in it for long, but I think in a multi-layer carry, it would really come into its own for bigger kids. So that's that there. Just show you the knot. So it's got a really nice amount of grip, and I think that'll just come out even more once the wrap's been washed, and it kind of gets that nice extra little bit of fluffiness into it. The knot there is really quite manageable. Get to show off those colours at the back. So, yes, so I was going to say I was going to show you a bit more about the yarns in a bit more depth. So just seeing that pattern running across there, and from close up you get all that lovely detail. So I wanted to talk to you a bit more about the yarns. So here's something I made earlier. What we've got, these are the picks side by side. So that's the two plain cotton picks and then the ecru boucle, and you can see how much texture there is in that. So boucle, as many of you will know, comes from French, boucle, which means to curl. So it's a curled yarn or a looped yarn, we would call it. It has 3 strands, and the third strand is sort of spun at a lower tension, so it gets caught in between the first 2 and gives you those loops along the length. They can be different sizes. There's so many variations of those. But in this one, it's just giving us a really nice subtle fleck through the whole thing. And then next to it, we've got the cotton linen yarn. So that's a blend of cotton fibres in sort of pale pinks through to coral, so producing that kind of space dye effect. And then wrapped around what you can see there, the pale green, is the linen yarn, and that's giving it the strength. So that yarn's actually GRS certified, which means Global Recycling Standard. And when you recycle cotton yarns, or any yarn really, they're often not quite as strong as new fibre, so they need a bit of extra strength added in. So this is making use of the strength of the linen to hold together that lovely cotton slub. The slub being that thicker bit. So that goes along the length of the yarn. There'll be these thicker bits and thinner bits, and that just gives it that kind of little variation of texture across the fabric. So yeah, quite a lot going on for quite a deceptively simple wrap, I think. Really elegant, I think, and easy to wear. I think it'd be lovely for an occasion in the summer, but also just for casual wear. I think it's a really lovely colourway to just work into your daily use. So yeah, we're excited about this one, as you can maybe tell. I quite like yarns with a bit of texture. So yeah, it feels lovely on, and I think that's going to just give it that extra grip and a bit of added cush versus the equivalent in a plain cotton. I'll just have a look and see if any of you have any questions. Looks lighter than anticipated. I wonder in what way. Is the texture similar to the tubular yarn, Becca says? I'm going to say no. The tubular yarn is a very thin yarn that's been knitted in a tube, so it tends to have quite a constant thickness along its length. The slub really has that variation, and that's what gives it its characteristics, and the boucle as well obviously has that loop going along, so it's not a uniform thickness of yarn. So that's what I would say is the difference. Yeah, I think that's it. Mercedes says, oh, thanks for showing the individual threads. Yeah, I hope that was useful, interesting, not too fast, but hopefully, yeah, just a bit of an insight, because obviously you can't get your wraps and cut them up and pull them apart, but we get to play with the yarns before they go in, so it's quite nice to show you what goes in and what's inspired the fabric. So yeah, let me see. Very distracted by Yuan Lee says, I'm loving the demo, but also very distracted by all the lovely reels of yarn and beautiful colours in the back. Yes, these are the sewing threads, because we are in the machinist's workshop, so yes, we're surrounded by textile fun here. Yes, Yuan Li, thank you. Geekery is good. I will try and bring in more of that where appropriate. So yeah, thanks for having me. I think that's about it for me. Do ask any other questions you have, and I'll answer them, or one of us will jump in to answer. Hannah will be here as well, so she can possibly pick up on anything I've missed.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks. It's been great to talk to you today. Enjoy the next wrap too. It's also lovely. Thanks
so much.
I'll see you later. Bye.
So, to follow on from Towera's summer meadow on the beautiful sage warp, I introduce to you Kiku Chelsea, which again has these beautiful kind of coral tones coming across the warp. And this one is a hybrid weave, so we have two different colours in the weft. So we've got a kind of darker spiced coral, and then we have a kind of paler almondy shade of coral as well. So every third flower you have the beautiful sage green coming out of the warp, and then we've got the darker coral there and the paler fresher, brighter coral in the middle. So it being a hybrid weave, that means that we do have slightly more yarns going on across the weft than our standard weave, which adds support and some more kind of structure to the sling. So it's going to be great for toddlers and bigger children. And of course it allows us, well, the main reason, one of the main reasons we also love hybrid weaves, or we use a hybrid weave, is because you do get those extra colours, you're able to add those extra colours. So this is the reverse of the fabric, so you always get a really interesting reverse of the colourways when you're using a hybrid weave. So it's a lot more coral on the back, and that's going to make a really beautiful ring sling because you will see that trailing down there as a ring sling. So I am going to pop this one on, and I will tell you a little bit more about the wrapping qualities of it. But you do indeed, Jan has said that it's shiny, and it absolutely is. It's lovely. So it's woven on an organic home cotton warp, as Towera mentioned earlier, and then we have a hemp weft. So this sling that I have today is a size 4, so I'm going to pop it on in a front cross carry with tied with rings at the back. Now of course this one is straight out of the bag, and although it has been through our soft touch finishing process, which means it will be easy to wear from the bag, as always with hemp, you will find that it will break, and it has even more to go in terms of softness and breaking in. So as you do wash and wear this one, it will become incredibly floppy and lovely with your little one or your toddler, because of course it's going to be perfect for toddlers too, given the strength of hemp and also the hybrid weave. So I seem to have got myself a little bit twisted on my shoulder here, so let me untwist and put this together in our front cross carry. Okay, perfect. All right. So yes, so it's 50% BCI organic home cotton, and it is 50% hemp. Now for this carry, I'm going to go over the outside of the rings and in, and see if I can pull that through. Of course, it being a hemp blend, it has a little bit of a life of its own at the start until you get it a little bit of love. Give it a little bit of love, and then it will become lovely and soft and really easy to tie. So this sling is it's actually 324 GSM, so it sounds like a sort of fairly heavyweight sling, but what you'll find with this one is that it's actually, just checking that I've got that all correct before we go any further. What's going on here? Yes, I think we're good. Okay, I'm just going to loosen off enough to give enough room for my baby on each side. Okay, lovely, that'll be for my baby. So I'll just grab my doll, and then I will continue on with the wrapping qualities and explain a little bit more about the weight of this sling. Come on then. So with this one, as I was saying, although it's 324 GSM, you can see it doesn't particularly look that thick, and it's very easy to handle. So with this one, generally what we find is that hemp is quite a weighty yarn, so it will weigh in a little bit heavier than it feels in hand. And of course it is a hybrid weave, so you do have extra hemp yarns involved because the full weft is hemp. But it does feel very light and airy, so it's actually going to be a really good option for the summer. And of course hemp is moisture wicking and it's breathable, it's natural and it's easy care. So it's going to be a really good option if you are looking for something for the warmer weather, and particularly good for toddlers. Of course hemp being very strong, it's a really good option for toddlers and little ones as well. So you could definitely use this sling, I would say maybe from 8 weeks upwards, something like that, once it's broken in a little bit more. But of course, if you do have a heavier baby, or if you're looking for one sling that's going to take you through all the way from very young baby all the way to toddlerhood, then this could be a really good option for you. So I'm just going to tighten up my rings, and there we go. So that is Kiku Chelsea in a front cross carry. Now it does seem like something has gone a little bit twisted at the back there. Not entirely sure what's happened there. Sorry everybody. I think this side is needing to be rethreaded perhaps. Something has happened at the back. Now I'm not going to bother fixing that at the moment, but you will see a full tutorial of that on our YouTube channel. If you would like to do this sling with this carry, then you will be able to follow the process on our YouTube channel, and you'll be able to do this one correctly. Okay, let me check some of the comments. Yes, Jan says this is perfect for a wedding. Absolutely, it would be gorgeous for a wedding. So easy to wear, easy to match colours with. And if you are looking for something a little bit more subtle, that's just really, really beautiful and elegant, then this might be a good option for you. Jess says, it's hot in Texas, will be 105 today. I can barely wear clothes. I'm wearing indoors only at this point, with one exception of my sea salt, fire and ice towel for walks to and from the pool. Wow, yes, that is warm. So indeed, this Kiku Chelsea is going to be good for the summer months. Certainly it will be able to carry your toddlers or your bigger babies without getting too hot and sweaty. Lovely. And Jan says, I think almost half of everything I own is Oscha hemp blend now, but there's always room for more. Indeed, it's such a lovely yarn. It's so versatile. Thank you, Emily. Yes, you have mentioned that one side of the thread is inside out, and you're not wrong. There's something going on with the back. I know it's not supposed to look like that, so please do ignore it. I am only carrying a doll today, so we're all right, but there's definitely been a little mistake on the back of the carry of this one. Oh, Jess, you're very sweet. She's written, Hannah, your bump is precious. It is growing now for sure. Lovely. So Danielle says, oh, so excited for pink. It's a lovely shade of corally pink, this one, and same with the Anna as well. Lovely. Indeed. Oh yes, and Jana's mentioned she's been waiting so long for another Kiku or Kiku Mini. Of course I should have mentioned the pattern. So going along the theme of a flower meadow, we picked out our Kiku pattern, which is inspired by chrysanthemums. So that lovely or iconic full bloom flower in all of its glory was the inspiration for this pattern. And indeed we haven't woven it for a while, and we just felt summertime, summer months, it's a perfect opportunity to bring it out again. And of course, following on from many customer requests for us to bring back some of our many myriad designs. We are trying to pop in a few of our different designs that we maybe haven't woven for a little while. So this is obviously Kiku, and Towera showed you the lovely Anna pattern as well, which is kind of like a kaleidoscope, more graphic pattern. This one's a little bit more organic. Mercedes says, OMG, it's gorgeous. And lots of love for Towera as well, saying that people are excited to see more of you. And that will be great. It's so nice to be able to share the chat with everyone. Yes, and Emily has mentioned that this one and the Anna are so definitely great for special occasions. And indeed they are. Lovely. Okay, so we have a question, just checking in now. So maybe I missed this already. The Kiku available is made to order. Yes, so both this one and the Anna Apotheca will be available for made to order. So you can order any of the accessories that we offer. It would be gorgeous as a shawl, scarf, alia bag, or a keris carrier as well. It would really be a lovely, lovely option. You might want to do something with some lovely tails like this, Carrie. Great, lovely indeed. Okay, so just as a little summary for Kiku Chelsea then. So it is a lovely supportive hybrid weave in a 50% hemp blend. So it's a really strong supportive blend. It will be perfect for little ones all the way through toddlerhood. It does feel a little bit lighter in hand than some of our other some of our slings that are 324. I think it's a fairly smooth yarn hemp, and it also weighs a little bit higher than it actually feels in real life. It's going to be good for the summer, but of course also all seasons. You can always double it up if you're looking for something cozier in the colder months or colder climates. It will need a little bit of breaking in for becoming lovely, before becoming buttery and soft for little babies, but that will happen in no time, given that it has been through our lovely soft touch finishing process. And it's breathable and easy care, which is great, of course, for those who are looking to just pop their slings in the washing machine whenever they need a bath. Alright, so I am going to take this one off, and I'm going to show you a couple of wee things that we've got that we have here at the moment, and also some information about some pre-orders and the like. So I'm just going to take this one off a little bit unusually, since the knot at the back maybe wasn't quite as it should be. I will need some more practice, won't I, before I'm doing that one at home. I love that carry though, it's such a pretty one, and I also love this sling, and I would love to know if you all think that I suit this one, and should I get it for my wee one? I've been dithering about it. I think it is my colours. Do let me know what you think about that. Okay, so I thought I would just grab a couple of things that are in process, that are being made at the moment. So we have a toddler keris. So somebody has ordered this lovely toddler keris in our Doors of Durin reflecting pool. And I thought that I would just pick it off the shelves and show it to you, to show you what that looks like. So we do still have some of this fabric available, and what I would say is if we have if we have slings, wraps and slings available on the website, and you did miss out on the made to order at the time, I would really recommend emailing our customer care. So email Jill at info@oschaslings.com, and we can always take a made to order for you after it's closed if need be, if we have fabric available. So it's always worth checking in with us if you've missed the made to order. Then it's a good idea to check in and see whether we can make it. So this is one of our toddler kerises. You can see the scale of it, isn't it fantastic? So I will be doing a live video all about toddler, not just toddler, all about the keris next Monday. So if you are interested in the keris carrier, I am going to be answering your questions. There's an event that we've shared in Clan Oscha where you can pop your questions down in advance and I'll make sure to show you whatever it is you want to know or explain anything that you want to know. And I will also be demonstrating the baby and the toddler keris next week. So I think if you're interested in keris at all, then come and join me. I have already chosen one for my little one. I just love the keris, and I'll explain a little bit more why that is next week. So yeah, and then this is sea salt bonnet, since those of you might be interested to see what's going on in the back. So this one is on the website at the moment. It's beautiful purpley blue sea salt on our bell warp. I thought I would just show you that since it's in the background of the video. So Carla has been stitching these today. This is Carla's workstation and she's been busy doing those ones. So I don't know if you're aware, but there's always a little sewn by label, so that's Carla has been making that one today, which is great. So for those of you who are not aware, we do have a very limited pre-order happening at the moment. So it's our semi-custom on our Nebula warp, which has been run by the Seasons of Finland group, and it is there's 3 different designs, Liana and a couple of others which I can't remember off the top of my head, the Riverbank design and possibly Misty Mountains, but don't quote me on that. And there's some lovely wefts, and we just have a tiny bit of fabric left on it, so if you have been contemplating that one or if you've been thinking about it, I would definitely recommend placing your order sooner rather than later, and it will be closing on Thursday. So if you're interested in there's some lovely yarns there as well. I think there's some beautiful silks and some beautiful kind of hemp alternating wefts as well, so I would really recommend that too. So yes, and for those of you who have been putting together your mood boards for our next full custom pre-order, which we're running through our own HQ pre-order, then the mood boards are due in before Wednesday or on Wednesday. So if you've been putting together your ideas, then that's the deadline for those. And then of course everyone has been sharing their amazing craft gifts through the Oscha Craft Exchange, the Craft Fairy in Clan Oscha. So if you haven't made your gift yet, then you better get cracking. And if you're interested to see what other people have been sharing and making, then you can join the thread and have a little look. So let me see if there's any other comments or questions. Do let me know if there's anything else you want to see from these slings, and I can show you those. Emily says her latest Oscha was a Carla creation. That's lovely. And Lydia is saying that she's looking forward to my Monday keris talk. That's good, I'm glad. And Emily's saying I've been dithering about buying a keris for the husband. Yeah, I would say it probably is a good shout for dads too. So lots of beautifuls. Thank you, Christina, for your compliment. That's lovely. Oh, I'm glad you agree that this one is my colours. I definitely am contemplating that one as this one is one of my stash. I would love to feel a fully broken in hemp sling, so if anyone can give me their thoughts on how buttery soft set the hemp will feel, I cannot wait to use one. Lovely. Okay, so I think that is everything that I wanted to cover with you today. So as always, if you do have any questions, you can comment on the thread, or you can message us, or you can ask in Clan Oscha as well. So thank you so much for tuning in today, and Mia and myself and Towera will see you in a couple of weeks' time, although I'll be back for the keris video next week. Lovely. Yes, Emily is confirming that the hemp blends do become super buttery with wash and wear, so I think I might need to try that one. Thank you all so much for watching, and speak to you again soon.